Hollywood, social media is making it seem like divorce is some Sex in the City Carrie lifestyle. The older you are, especially if you're divorcee with children, the less likely you're going to be seen as someone that men want. People who get a divorce, they actually remarry each other in the end because they realize the grass ain't greener on the other side. So alimony, all that stuff, average person is not getting that much in alimony. That's really for, rich people.
For millions of black women, many blessed with brains and beauty, finding the right man is proving elusive. But why?
Why do we have such low marital rates? And I'm not talking about black women marrying black men. I'm talking about men of all race wanting or desiring to marry a black woman.
Single, black, and female. Well, research shows more and more young women of color are having trouble finding that special someone to marry.
Why is it that black women appear to be undesirable when it comes to marriage?
All over, conversations are being had about why black women are not getting married. According to research, black American women are the least likely race of women in America to be married. This is a phenomenon. This is a problem. Marriage presents so many benefits, and black women, we are losing out. Why aren't black women getting married? I think I've come up with the answer, and I put it all together in my digital ebook. Marriage is for black women too. In this ebook, you will learn why I believe black women are not married, the benefits of marriage for black women, what God says about marriage, and ultimately what we can do as black women to not only get married, but to stay married. At the end of the book, I have discussion questions for you, your girlfriends, your small group, your church can look at and review so you can reflect on everything that you read. I believe that you're going to get a lot out of this book and maybe some answers that you did not know about why the black woman's marriage rate is so low. For black women out there that want to be married, have hope. It can happen. Get the ebook to see how you can get married and improve your chances. Please click the link in the description box to get your copy today. Now, let's talk about how it affects women. For any women out there that are black women watching this and you're thinking divorce isn't a big deal, it's not a problem. I've seen people get over it.
What, like it's hard?
Oh, really? Because a lot of people aren't telling the truth. A lot of people are just saying what the culture wants them to say, that divorce was great for them, but they're not telling the truth.
Why you always lying?
Let's tell you this is what the stats say. When it comes to women, how it affects women. Women who get divorced are more likely to face poverty. Why? Because women who get divorced are more likely to have the children stay with them. Custody, sole custody, full custody is usually given to the mother of the children. Most likely it is given to the mother of the children, right? And if it's given to the mother of the children, that means that she's going to have to work a whole bunch of hours in order to sustain. Also, not a lot of women get alimony. Not a lot of women get a lot in child support either. When we keep hearing about child support and, alimony, all that stuff, each person is not making that much money, okay? It's about $50,000 a year and sometimes even lower, right? So alimony, all that stuff, the average person is not getting that much in alimony. That's really for, rich people.
I ain't got no money.
That's why when people talk about prenups, rich people who get prenup, middle class people, lower class people, they don't get prenups. It's as much. It's rich people who have way more money to lose, right? So we also need to get things correct when we hear all of this stuff being spewed on podcasts. We need to look at the statistical data. Lots of talk about, women getting alimony after divorce and child support and all that stuff. But prenups are usually for wealthy people. And although prenups statistically seem to be up more, but it's only about 15%. I looked at an article that said it's up 15%. 15% of people polled said that they've had a prenup, signed a prenup paper, and from only up from 3%. We gotta look at the data. We gotta look at the facts. And so married women who get divorced are more likely to be in poverty because they are more likely to get custody of the children. when they have the children and when they have custody of their children, they have to somehow make up for the finances that have been lost with the husband not being there anymore, especially if the woman was a stay-at-home mom. Now she has to work. Now she has to find a job. And all of the things that she did as staying home don't really translate to the workplace well as experience. People don't look at, oh, okay, what was your experience? When they look on the job application, they tell you to write down your experience. And they're like, oh, well, I was a homemaker. I've never heard anybody get hired because of that.
Don't quit your day job.
So if you were a stay-at-home mom, you got to start working and the kids staying with you. So also you may not be able to work as many hours as someone who is single and who could work overtime and move and relocate and do all that stuff. When you have a child, you're not able to do that. And if you're not getting alimony, or if you're not getting child support, or if you're not getting a lot in those different things, then it's not really going to help you at all. So if you are getting divorced, you're more likely as a woman to face poverty. Then another thing is, women are less likely to find a new spouse after divorce.
No. Wait.
So there's research that says that men, after they get a divorce, they're more likely to find someone else than the women are. And there's 3 reasons for this. Now, you may have heard this in certain circles before. And when people were trying to say this, there was a lot of backlash because some people don't want to hear the truth. But let me just tell you what the research says. It says the reason why women who get a divorce are less likely to move on and find a spouse than men who get a divorce is because, one, they're older. There is something, and I didn't know about this until some years ago because I've been married basically my whole life at this point.
How old did you say you were?
But there is something called a dating market. And the older you are as a woman, especially when you have children, when you've been divorced, all that stuff, that plays into the dating market. And a lot of men do not want older women. A lot of older men don't want older women.
Say what?
Which you'll think is strange, but it just is what it is. The older you are, especially if you're divorcee with children, the less likely you're going to be seen as someone that men want.
And I don't want you. No, I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you no more.
Various ages and occupations of men. So that's number 1. Number 2, women who live with children, when you have kids and after the divorce and they live with you, because remember, women are more likely to have custody of the children after divorce. When they live with you, that also puts you in a decline after getting divorced. A lot of men don't want to be with a woman who has children, especially women who have children that lives with them. A man who has gotten a divorce, they live on their own, and so they can date and bring women to their house and do all this stuff, right? But when you are a woman with children, your schedule and your life revolves around your children. And it's very difficult to find someone that is going to be okay with that. He might say, you know what, I'll just be with a woman who has absolutely no children and who's also not older, and I don't have to deal with that.
Not my problem.
So these are just some statistics. This is statistics. These are statistics. Another reason is because women who get a divorce and they have full custody of the children, these reasons are according to data, those children are living with them, and so they have less opportunity to go out. They're less likely to go out on dates and go to places where you can find, like, they can meet other men, okay? The bottom line is, when women get divorced and they have children, it's just difficult for them to remarry or to get a new spouse than it is the man, because their whole world revolves around those children, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just, these are just the stats. This is what it says. This is the truth. It revolves around those children. So it's hard for women to meet new men. And it's also hard for, them to be seen as desirable to men because they have children, they've been divorced, they're older, right? And also some men don't want to be second place to your kids, right? I saw a stat that said that a lot of people who divorce, they actually end up getting remarried to each other. And I would not be surprised because they got into those dating streets and they realized it wasn't worth it. And, it's not what we thought. It's not a fantasy tale. It's not a Lifetime family movie. It's not a romance Hallmark movie. This is real life. And it's not what you think. People who get a divorce, they actually remarry each other in the end because they realize the grass ain't greener on the other side. And this is the best I need. I'd rather just be with my family and make it work.
let's
A divorce affects women, and we need to understand that. Hollywood and Tinseltown is making it seem, social media is making it seem like divorce is some Sex in the City Carrie lifestyle, and it's not. They make it seem like it's glamorous. They're making it seem like everything is great, that you can just find a new love and your life is going to be great. We need to start telling the truth, and it affects women in a negative way. It's more likely to lead women into poverty, and it's less likely for women to find a new spouse, after marriage than divorced men. And so before you walk out the door, you need to consider these things.